The film opens with loud sirens and explosions echoing in the background. We witness a man named Paul frantically escaping amid the pandemonium that appears to herald the end of the world. Apparently, some dangerous creatures have taken over the world, and they are attacking every human they encounter. After making his getaway, we see Paul holding his infant twin sons, Joseph and Thomas, in a remote location away from the city. He has managed to survive this, and tells his kids that he will keep them safe as well, and that everything will be all right. 15 years pass by, as Paul and his kids now live in an isolated farmhouse. Thomas has gone out to another farm, and Paul is extremely worried for him because it is getting very late. Thomas comes home, and Paul gets mad at him because of the lurking creatures in the world outside. They sit down for dinner, and both of the brothers start fighting with each other, but Paul stops them. After dinner, they are all sitting together peacefully. Suddenly, their dog starts clawing the floor, letting Paul know that something is wrong. Thomas rushes downstairs to check and is startled by a loud knock on the door. Paul immediately comes there, and with Thomas helping him, Paul tries to hold the door so that he can prevent the creatures from breaking inside. Eventually, the creatures give up and run away, as they are now safe. In the morning, they go outside to collect wood, and we see huge scratches on their door. Later on, Joseph is in the garage when Paul approaches him. Joseph emphasizes the fact that he does not want to stay hidden forever, and Paul explains how better days are ahead. He thinks that the creatures might go back to where they came from. This is because the creatures came out of the ground when humans caused too much pollution, and now that the earth is getting cleaner, they might just go back. He also learns that Joseph, among other things, has been working on a car. Joseph believes that having a car would make all of their work significantly easier. Paul also agrees to this, so he takes a look at the car and manages to get it running. He takes the boys to the car and teaches them how to properly drive. After that, Thomas claims that he wants to go to the Rose Farm. The Rose Farm is a huge place owned by a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Rose, and it has many people in it. Paul stops him and tells him to assist his brother in getting some supplies instead of going to the Rose Farm. Thomas is mad at this, but he still listens to his father and goes with Joseph. While going into the car, they both start to fight again, and Joseph says that Thomas can do whatever he wants because he does need his help. Because of this, Thomas leaves while telling Joseph that he is going to the Rose Farm and that he should pick him up in the car before sunset. Thomas then finally goes to the Rose Farm, where he meets Mr. and Mrs. Rose's daughter, Charlotte. Charlotte is the reason he always wants to come to the Rose Farm. They go to a remote location and spend some time together. Meanwhile, Joseph was collecting some supplies and realized that he was late for picking up Thomas. Thomas thinks that no one is coming to get him, so he starts running toward his house. While running, he trips on some stones and falls into a deep cave. Joseph reaches the point where they were supposed to be late, but sees that Thomas isn't there. He assumes that Thomas went home, so he drives back as well. He meets Paul, who is worried because Thomas has not returned yet. Joseph explains everything, and Paul decides to go look for Thomas. He packs a bag filled with weapons and tells Joseph to stay back and lock the entire house. In the cave, Thomas wakes up and manages to light a fire. He soon realizes that the creatures are surrounding the top of his cave. He starts panicking and screaming when the creatures try to reach down and grab him. Paul hears the screaming and runs towards it. He kills the creature and goes inside the cave to check on Thomas. He closes the entrance he found so that the creatures don't come inside. He also mentions that they might have to spend the entire night in this cave. On the other hand, Joseph is in the house, and he has purposefully left the door open. This is because he wants to capture one of the creatures alive. He is curious about what they are, and he wants to do some experiments on an alive one. He sits in the living room and pretends to be asleep so that a creature attacks him. One creature comes, and at first, it makes sure that Joseph is asleep by extending its hand and almost touching him. It then walks inside, and just as it comes close to Joseph, he immediately pulls a rope, and a cage falls on the creature. Joseph is shocked to see that he actually managed to catch one alive. Meanwhile, Paul sees that blocking the entrance was futile because the creatures were about to come from underneath. He tells Thomas to stand back as he takes some explosives and throws them where the creatures were about to come from. An explosion occurs, in which Paul gets badly injured. Thomas manages to pull Paul out of the cave, but he is unconscious. As dawn arrives, Joseph takes the car and goes out in the woods to find them. With the help of their dog, he manages to find Thomas and an unconscious Paul. They put him inside the car and took him home, where they could properly treat his wounds. Upon arriving home, Thomas sees that there is a huge cage in their room with strange noises coming out of it. Joseph tells him that he caught one of them last night for research purposes. Thomas claims that he can kill these creatures and wants Joseph to open the cage. He does not want to, but Thomas opens the cage as the creature runs away. But the creature is still in the room, and Joseph pins it down with a stick. Thomas takes an axe and slices its head off. After that, they realize that there is nothing much that they can do for their father, which is why they decide to take him to the Rose farm, which is their last option. However, Mr. and Mrs. Rose refuse to help them. They claim that they can only manage to keep Thomas with them so that Joseph can save some supplies for their father. While they are leaving after getting no help, they start fighting once again. They blame each other for what's happening to their father and keep fighting. Because of this fight, Thomas decides that he will stay at the Rose farm. He walks inside, and Mrs. Rose tells Charlotte to take Thomas to his room and give him something to eat. When he goes inside, he sees that they have a nice place with better quality food. After eating the food, he starts talking to Charlotte, and they both share their first kiss. While they are kissing, her dad walks in and clearly sees that they are kissing. She tries to make excuses, but he tells her to get out of Thomas's room immediately. After that, Joseph is taking Paul back when he sees that many animals are panicking. This indicates that something bad is about to happen. Meanwhile, Charlotte sees that Thomas is gathering some things from the kitchen. He explains that he is about to leave because of his father's condition and asks if she can sneak him some medicine. She agrees and gives him some medicine and a hug before he leaves. While he is leaving the farm, a man holds him at gunpoint. Thomas decides to leave the medicine, but the man does not let him leave, even without the medicine. He gathers other people, and they tie him to a chair. Before the man can shoot him, a huge hole opens in the ground, and he falls in there. Another man sees what just happened, and a creature attacks him as well. This means that a large number of creatures are coming from the ground. Mr. and Mrs. Rose wake up because of the noise, but a creature attacks them in their room. Mr. Rose tries to fight it as Mrs. Rose runs away to find and save Charlotte. Before she can reach her room, though, the creature catches up and ends her life as well. Charlotte is in her room when she hears this noise and comes out. She sees a creature and knows that many more will come. Subsequently, Thomas is still tied up, and all of the people are getting attacked by the creatures. He manages to break free, and just when a creature is about to attack him, he is shot down by Charlotte, who has a shotgun. She tells him that they need to leave and go back to his farm to treat his father. They reach back to their home, where they explain everything to Joseph, who has been expecting this since he saw the panicking animals. Paul finally wakes up, and they give him the medicine that Thomas brought. They tell Paul that the creatures are coming from the ground, and they are everywhere. He tells them to fight instead of hiding. They plan to make a trap and place a few gas tanks together in the house, but before they can do anything, the creatures start emerging from the ground in their house. Thomas sneaks up on one of the creatures and tries to kill it, but the creature gets the upper hand. Charlotte then comes and shoots the creature in the face. Thomas then puts a long rope in the gas cans and sets the rope on fire. This gives them a few minutes before the whole house explodes. They plan to take a huge metal box and stay inside it while the explosion happens. The problem is that there are too many creatures, but Paul comes with a gun to hold them back. He keeps fighting them until, at last, all three of them get inside the box and the house explodes. Paul sacrifices himself so that his sons might live a better life. They all get out of the box and mourn his loss. They drive away in a car, but some of the creatures survive and unite together. They chase their car until Charlotte shoots them and finally ends it all. In the morning, all three of them form graves and mourn the loss of their parents. Joseph claims that there was another farm nearby with some survivors and suggests that they should head there to check on them. Before they leave, he tells Thomas that he likes Charlotte and is happy that Thomas is with them. They put their differences aside and hug each other as they all leave in their cars with their dogs following them. Here, this movie ends. Thank you for being a part of Instant Movie Recaps. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Instant Movie Recap for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay captivated.